Today we're doing math page 161, 162. And John 14:6 says, "No one can come to the Father except through me." And that was Jesus talking. Okay, for this first part, it's review of what we were doing last lesson. We see here it's asking 1 equals what over 3? Well, 3 over 3. Because if we remember, any number over itself equals 1. So 3 over 3 equals 1. Just like for B, 6 over 6 equals 1. And C, 4 over 4 equals 1. D, 5 over 5 equals 1. E, 9 over 9 equals 1. F, 8 over 8 equals 1. Okay, so now we're going to take what we've learned there, the last lesson, and what we just practiced. And in number 2, we're going to have to understand that for what we're going to do. Number 2, they've done some of the work for us, and we need to complete it. And what they've shown us here is they have the problem of 1 minus 2/3. Well, they've borrowed from the 1, and they made it a 3 over 3. And then they just moved everything over this way. And now 3 over 3 minus 2/3. Because remember, 1 does equal 3 over 3. 3 over 3 minus 2 over 3 leaves us with 1 over 3. Okay, B, the same thing. They've borrowed from the 1, and they changed it to 5 over 5, which is the same as 1. And so they moved it over this way. We have 5 over 5. And the reason why they chose 5 is because our denominator down at the bottom here is a 5. And remember, to add or subtract fractions, you must have common denominators. Since this was a 5, well, they made this a 5. And remember, they could have made it any number they wanted, as long as it was the same numerator, top number, and denominator, bottom number. And they chose 5 since there was a 5 being used right there. So they moved the 1 into 5 over 5 and moved it that way. And we need to now move our 4 over 5 this way. 5 over 5 minus 4 over 5 leaves us with 1 over 5. Okay, C. They show us we need to borrow from the 1. And they've left this empty for us to decide what's going to go in there. Since this is 6 over 7, since it's a 7 at the bottom, in the parentheses I want you to put 7 over 7. Make it neater than mine. I don't have a lot of room to squeeze it in there, but 7 over 7 needs to go in the parentheses. And now we're able to do 7 over 7 minus 6 over 7. And that leaves us with 1 over 7. D. Since there's a 2 down there as our denominator, we'll make it, this 1 will become 2 over 2. And now we have 2 over 2 minus 1 over 2. Leaves us with 1 over 2. Okay, number 3, we're going to continue doing what we're doing. We have in 3a 1 minus 3/5. To add or subtract fractions, you must have common denominators. We're going to borrow from our 1. Since it's a 5 as our denominator there, we'll make it 5 over 5. And we'll bring over the 3 over 5, and we can subtract. 5 minus 3 would give us 2. And our answer is 2 over 5. B. We need to borrow from the 1. Since this is an 8 down there, the 1, we're going to change it to 8 over 8. And minus, I'm just bringing it over, 3 over 8. Our answer is 5 over 8. 5/8. Okay, C, we're borrowing from the 1. We have a 7 as the denominator, so it's going to be 7 over 7 minus 2 over 7. That gives us 5/7. D, we'll borrow from the 1. Since that's a 6, we're going to make our 1 into a 6 over 6 minus 5/6. And our answer is 1/6. E, we're going to borrow from the 1. Since it's a 5 at the bottom, we'll make it 5/5. Subtract 2/5. And that leaves us with 3/5. F, we're borrowing from the 1. Since it's a 9 as the denominator over there, we're going to pick 9 over 9 minus 5/9. We get 4/9. I'll go ahead and let you do G and H on your own. So you guys will go ahead and do the rest on your own. Before you do, I wanted you to see. Have you guys seen one of these? You know what it is? That's a platypus there. A duck-billed platypus. What's interesting about the platypus, I think their thing there, their duckbill is very interesting, but besides that, like scientists and biologists and zoologists, they have such a hard time knowing what to decide what the platypus is. Is it a mammal? Is it a bird? There's different things that make it one of those, either a mammal or a bird. Look at those little cute ones. And so, for example, like the platypus lays eggs like birds do. The platypus has a leathery, like duck bill, and its feet are webbed like birds. Now, but at the end of the webs, they have claws, just like maybe on a cat or a raccoon. So there's different things about it, and what they finally decided, raise your hand if you think it's a mammal. And raise your hand if you think it's a bird. Scientists finally decided it's classified as a mammal. But just barely. They say it's real close to both, but they made a decision that it's a mammal. So that's what they're going with. And that's what we'll go with too. How about this? Do you know what this is? It's a kangaroo. This is called a joey, baby kangaroo. Really interesting. When these guys are first born, sometimes they're only an inch tall. An inch. Imagine that. That's like same size as like a large water bug or a queen bee. This guy looks real little. I like him. How about this? Do you know what this is? It's a blue whale. Blue whales are huge. That's a picture of what a little swimmer would look like compared to the size of the blue whale. A blue whale, it'll weigh as much as 30 elephants. It can be as long as 3 big buses. You know what this is? This is a model of what the size of a blue whale's heart would be. Look at that. Isn't that huge? The heart. You can know the size of your heart if you make a fist right now. Make a fist. And say that's about the size of what your heart is. Look at this right here. This is huge. So a blue whale's heart's got to be really, really big. Here's a picture of what a blue whale would look like compared to the size of different dinosaurs, and you got an elephant there. It's even bigger than those. Here I am. Here's a blue whale if it could jump like those kangaroos. Okay, go ahead and finish the math. Do the rest on your own.